Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into a very, very special episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. 'Tis I, Colton Robertson, and I am joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much for being here, homie. It's a big day.
It is a big day, and I'm glad to be here.
The first ever Penny Bloom Awards.
An honor to be here.
Of the decade. We're doing the 70s. Obviously, we wrapped up the 70s with Apocalypse Now just a little bit ago.
Looking into the future, this will become one of the most successful award shows of all time for what we have lined up.
Oh yeah,
so
I mean this will eventually overcome the Oscars.
Yeah, Oscars who?
We will eventually be more important to filmmakers everywhere than the Academy.
Hopefully we'll make the Kansas City Film Critics Circle proud.
Oh, I know we will. Especially with the back half of our awards here.
Of course.
Obviously, we're going to start with some real shit. We're going to get right into it. We got some Best Actor categories. We got some Best Actors categories. How about a Best Director, set design, soundtrack, all that shit, costume design. It's a wonderful little thing we've got going. And then on the back half, we'll have a little bit more fun with it. It won't be so technical. It won't be so who was the best at this? We'll get a little bit more free reign in here, and that's when we'll start changing it up from your typical award show. But yeah, I'm ready. And obviously, we're not talking all the 70s. We've covered 10 movies from the 70s, 70 through 79. MASH, A Clockwork Orange, Godfather, American Graffiti, Godfather 2, Jaws, Taxi Driver, Star Wars, The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, and Apocalypse Now. And those are our nominees. In every category, we had the opportunity to choose from only those movies. Because that's what we've talked about in the last 10 weeks, which is a while. This is a long time coming, and I'm ready to do the Penny Bloom Awards. So let's get it rolling with let's start light. Let's start light with set design.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely important to me that you get me enveloped in your world, and that it's believable, and that I buy that this exists. And these movies, above the rest of them from the decade, stood out for their set design. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, Star Wars, Apocalypse Now, A Clockwork Orange, and American Graffiti. No other movies from this decade stood out quite like these did in terms of getting me there.
Once you were in, you were in with these. Like, I guess that's not just due to the set, obviously. So that's not what this award is for. Like, just being into the movie, but
it's a huge part.
But
of
it helps.
You
it definitely helps.
You lack in that set design. You lack in a believable world that you've built for me. Then I'm not gonna buy it. Like, I'm gonna have a tough time getting into it. And these movies did a really good job on their set design. And I think the 36th Chamber of Shaolin is as good an option here as any. And it was one that early on I was like, I'll probably dismiss that. But I think back to the set design in that movie, the temples and the villages.
Each of the challenges that they had to face, like they had to design all of those sets around the challenges. Like,
yeah,
the set design was like a very huge, like, creative process in this movie, and like a very vital part.
How about the mirror fucking
that's
drill?
Sick. That was sick.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a and then you have something that, like, on that side, the 36th Chamber of Shaolin is a little bit more of the, like, obviously we're in a movie. Like, you can all, like, there's a degree of like the production budget that comes into play there, and like and it's what you can do with that budget that'll wow me. I think to an 80s movie that we won't cover that is very, very like corny set design. It's a Little Shop of Horrors. It's very musical, very like on stage type of set design. Like it's like I can tell you all built this like cardboard walls and stuff. But if you can do that right, it can look awesome. And I feel like the 36 Chamber of Shaolin is a step up from that in terms of like production value and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have something on the other side, like Apocalypse Now, where we are in the fucking jungle doing the shit, baby.
We're in the jungle, and you're like, we're in the jungle.
We're with some cult on some sort of landscape they've created.
Yeah, this set design was crazy. Talk about the very opposite end of the spectrum. A huge budget, 120 million, I think,
adjusted for inflation.
Adjusted value, which is insane for a movie like back then, like to spend that much, like
right.
But yeah, these sets were. I mean, I really felt like this is what Vietnam felt and looked like. Like
I think to that scene where they land the chopper where they're about to go surfing. And like war is raging. They're just like, and they're walking through the middle of it. Or maybe I'm mixing two scenes in my head. I'm thinking of when they show up and the camera crew's like, it's for television. Keep moving. And it's like there's war raging around them and they're just walking through. You see explosions. You see stuff blowing up. You see a guy with a flamethrower. Like, and it's like, damn. Like, you feel like you're there. And
even that when they land to like go surfing, like it shows like a very wide shot of like two guys that are surfing that like near miss almost get blown up, and then like a napalm strike, and then like so like like all of these shots like are insane. Like the sets that they had, I mean, it's like legitimate real world set, like right, like there's no like this was on site. Like
it had to have been. It had to have been on location. I don't see how it could have not been.
I mean, especially for the
obviously
the
they probably had to build the structures that you see getting like burnt down and stuff. I can't imagine that they were just like allowed to go burn down stuff that was already there.
That's true. They had to build a whole village to destroy. Like if they're destroying something, like they probably
I sure
built
hope.
it. Yeah, I sure hope it wasn't a real village.
I sure hope that would be the case. But I think A Clockwork Orange did another really good thing with the set design, where like it's pretty minimalist at moments, where it's like it's mostly just a dark setting, but then we'll cut to the inside of someone's house, and when you're inside someone's house, you're like, holy fucking shit, what world is this?
Mm-hmm. The milk bar.
The milk bar, yeah. The milk bar. The people's home where he paralyzes the guy.
Alex's room.
Yeah,
like,
Alex's room. Yes.
That whole world is that like the set design is very crucial to that movie. It sets the like makes you uncomfortable. Like it does everything the movie wants it to do. Very, very well. And I mean, I love that movie. It's just getting better and better every time I rewatch it. And I don't, I mean, it's great. Like A Clockwork Orange, it's iconic, but like you're talking about an iconic set design.
And I don't know if this is the one where it's hidden.
Really?
If we're getting to iconic set designs, I don't want to skip over anything. But I mean, let's talk Star Wars real quick, baby.
I mean, come on.
That's iconic.
The inside of the Millennium Falcon?
The first thought, that had to be designed, that had to be built, bro. How about this? The Mos Eisley Cantina.
all of the murals that are like the backgrounds for everything, like the literal gigantic murals.
Hey, let me hit you with this. The fucking Death Star. What the hell?
True. Yes. The Death Star. Literal planets.
Yavin, for the love of God. The lined
Luke's
with the
house.
X-Wings.
Like Luke's like home. Obi-Wan's home.
The fucking oh my God.
The freaking sand people's what's the crawler? Is that what they call
the
him?
sand crawler with the droids. Yeah.
I mean, whoa.
Yeah, and I mean, like, let's touch on American Graffiti real quick, just like one last little bit. The just capturing the '60s so perfectly. Like, it's such a specific era that they're capturing here, and they brought it to life so incredibly well. I think to the diner and all the cars and stuff, the streets, the sign, the businesses lining the streets, like they did incredible designing this set. Like it was as real as it gets. I mean, and they captured the '60s beautifully.
Basically, is the movie like the set design or
is
the
the
look
point?
Is the whole like it's just the '60s captured in film. It's a museum movie, basically. If it's
a glorious
looking movie. This is a hard choice. Like
it's a
now
difficult
through
choice.
it. Yeah, like talking through each of them. Like Star Wars seems like okay, crazy grand scale, unbelievable, but like the budget was also insane. Like they had a huge budget to do that.
They had a sizable budget, but like
comparing it to like the 36 Chamber of Shaolin, like is what I'm.
Oh yeah, it's a better budget
like,
than 36 Chamber of Shaolin. But I'd go out on a limb here and guess that it was closer to a budget for a 36 Chamber of Shaolin than it was for an Apocalypse Now.
That's true. Yeah, I guess budget. Yeah, I don't know why I went to Star Wars for the biggest one when Apocalypse Now was right there. Yeah, so I mean, we have very polar opposite like budgets here, and like how does that weigh in on like the argument for a set design? Because if this is like doing the best with what you got, I feel like that's more of a fair, award. But if it's just overall the best set design, like
Star Wars budget was $11 million.
Oh wow! So is that adjusted or not?
That's not adjusted.
So that's
it's a sizable budget, but like it's not $30 million that Apocalypse Now gets a couple years later.
Yeah, it's a third, which is insane that Star Wars accomplished what it did with a third of Apocalypse's Now budget. Like, that's amazing on Star Wars' part.
Yeah, exactly. But we talked through it, and I started there, and I think I got to end there because without the set design, there's no telling what Star Wars would have become if they went with any other thing. If we don't start in the Mos Eisley Cantina and on Leia Organa's ship with just like how about that first shot of Leia with R2? Like that's a fantastic set design, and I can't even tell you what the fuck that room is.
It's just like the escape pod.
Yeah.
Walk hallway. Yeah, like what? Just like every time, like every room you're in is like built. Like it has to be there
because they're building their own world.
Yeah, like
it's a whole other thing.
It's like it is. Star Wars truly is the winner. Like I every time like I want to pick Star Wars, I'm like holding back to make sure that I'm not just picking Star Wars because it's Star Wars. But like I'm truly,
with you. There are certain categories where it is undoubtedly one of the most creative movies of all time. So it's like it has to win some of them. And this is definitely one of those where like you're creating an environment that is supposed to feel real, but completely unfamiliar to us, and they nail that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is the clear winner. Yeah, like talking through it, Star Wars wins the set design. The first award for the
first award ever for the Penny Bloom
that.
Awards, and of course it was going to go to Star Wars. Where else would we start? Where else would we start? All right, let's get to best soundtrack though, and surprise, motherfucker, first nominee, Star Wars. But before we get into the nominees, again, I want to break down what the general idea was here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Best soundtrack, what got us going the most when we were watching this movie? What pulled us in deeper? What made us feel things more? What made things more painful than they were prior? What made things happier than they would have been without it? What made things scarier? And music can almost entirely be owed those sorts of things. Not entirely, but they have a very heavy hand in it.
If you take the music out of a movie, it's so awkward. Like, it's very awkward. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the whenever Luke, Han, and Chewie get their medals.
Without
the music, and it's just like it's just like silence. It's so awkward. Like, that music adds so much to a movie. Like,
it really does.
So much to a movie. And these movies, like these nominees, like, they all do it very well.
So, best soundtrack nominees, starting with Star Wars, A Clockwork Orange, The Godfather, Jaws, and again, the 36th Chamber of Shaolin. Let's put some respect on 36th Chamber of Shaolin real quick. This is one that I think it won't win. It won't win. I'll put it that way. But it is a solid soundtrack. It prevailed amongst up against Taxi Driver, considered one of the greatest films of all time, and it has a pretty well-liked soundtrack. I'd take 36 Chamber over Taxi Driver 10 times out of 10.
An interesting distinction could be like Taxi Driver, it's the use of the soundtrack that is good there. Not necessarily that the soundtrack itself, like, standalone, like,
True.
is good to listen to. Like, a standalone soundtrack to listen to, like Star Wars, you can just listen to that and it's just good on its own.
Yeah.
But, like, in a movie like Taxi Driver or even A Clockwork Orange, where it's just like the same song repeated over and over, it's like the use of the song.
Jaws.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess we maybe should just run through all the nominees. Oh, we already did. Yeah. So, like, Jaws is the perfect example of the use of the soundtrack. Like,
yeah,
everyone knows how to play that thing on the piano. If it's simple, like, it builds tension. It's perfect. Like, it's simple.
And how about John Williams popping up a couple times in the
Has to. I mean, he's going to be popping up more in the future decades to come.
Absolutely.
But the dude is a musical genius, so it makes sense that he's up here. It's
how about
hard.
The Godfather soundtrack, real quick?
Yeah, it's so perfectly Italian, and like
did they create it? No, but like, goddamn, does it feel like they made this shit?
Like, I don't know how many times, like, the music just made me want to, like, do the Italian hands thing, or like how many times, like, like, it just, like, I felt in it, like, the music, like, it really, like, it does put you into the world that you're in way more.
And note, we didn't nominate Godfather for set design. However, like, if we're building a universe, The Godfather does it about as well as anybody does. I feel as pulled in to that world as I do, say, A Clockwork Orange for its set design. Like, I feel as pulled into Godfather for completely different reasons. The acting, and the music. Mm-hmm. The music is so important. It at any given moment, it's just, whenever we're, like, moving and we got those big Francis Ford Coppola shots that are just like, they're showing you everything happening, everything in the distance. It happens in Apocalypse Now too, where, like, you get these big shots just of landscapes, and they'd play the super Italian theme as
like
yes. I didn't know. I didn't want to do it because I don't think I could.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know. I couldn't. I was trying my best to replicate it. Yeah, just a fast violin. I don't know what instrument that is, but like some stringed something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
But
fiddle, perhaps.
man, it puts you right in there. Like it. I feel like I'm in Sicily. I got a pizzeria on my left, and I got the statue of David on my right, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm in there. Like
I'm vibing.
Yeah.
I'm vibing. But shit, man, who do you land on here for best soundtrack?
I'm doing it again. Like I'm going to Star Wars because like even just the individual, like the theme for Star Wars in general is goated. Then you have like Leia's theme, and like each person's theme like perfectly resembles their character. And like there's a song for every like emotion, like Vader's theme. Like these themes are all iconic. Yeah, the Imperial March. Like these are songs that people everyone in the world knows. And like it's hard not to give it to Star Wars here. But like,
well, and here's the thing. I'll help you think about it like this. Put John Williams' work, Star Wars as an entire soundtrack, next to Jaws, which undoubtedly has one of the most iconic soundtracks of all time. There is clearly one that is more dynamic, more out there, more going for it. And it's Star Wars. That's how I think about it, I think that what I said for The Godfather. Did they create it? Did they create that sound? No, not specifically. However, they utilized it incredibly well. And John Williams obviously didn't create the brassy symphony sound that they put on, but boy, oh boy, did he make that sound Star Wars. You hear that, and now it's Star Wars.
You hear the first second of any of those songs. Yeah, like you're the first second. You're like, oh, I'm there.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm in space. I'm up there. I'm on Alderaan. I'm on. Well, maybe not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, maybe a while ago. But I mean, it's.
Here, let's talk A Clockwork Orange a little bit though, because that was one of the things that like really, really set that movie apart for me. Was its synthy, just
Beethoven, like in Beethoven, like it's a very critical part of the movie too. Like you hear Beethoven the whole movie, and then it turns into like a trigger for him. Like it's like a legitimate story aspect. So like the soundtrack is very like important in this movie. But the just the theme, itself that you hear the whole time, like it's just a Kubrick, like a Shining, like
coming up next week for 1980, The Shining. Like the music in those movies is very, very similar at points. Like it's like there's clearly a thing he likes to do with instruments. Or like that he likes to get musicians to do on his on instruments to create tension and really make you uncomfortable, and it does a fantastic job. And like that's where I'm at right now. Is like if there are two options for me, it is Star Wars and A Clockwork Orange.
Interesting. Okay, because I was gonna try to like root for A Clockwork Orange here because like it's a very vital part of this movie, and like Beethoven just being in, the soundtrack, like it's Beethoven, like he's kind of goated.
Kind of unfair.
Yeah, like that's, but like the use of the soundtrack in A Clockwork Orange, I think is like the only other. Godfather comes close, but like Star Wars and A Clockwork Orange are my top two. But like I still can't put it above Star Wars. Like this soundtrack is just.
It's too dynamic. It's dynamic. That's the word I keep coming back to because it's just like it does all things. It does all of it.
Think about it this way. Can you open up your phone? Like, can you just listen out on a normal day to the Clockwork Orange soundtrack? Not
No.
really. Can you listen to like Star Wars songs? Any time of the day, any time of the year, yes. The answer,
Yeah.
not always yes, but like it shouldn't just be the music you listen to, but it's not bad. Like it's good. Like it's good.
No,
Just
I
like
think
put in the
I think
background.
that I mean it's good for anything. You know, you cooking, throw on a Star Wars soundtrack.
Thankfully, we have
You're
like
driving around,
Star Wars
throw on a Star
lo-fi.
Wars soundtrack.
Yeah, like Star Wars lo-fi beats, like on YouTube. Like those are flame. You know, like birth from these beautiful like original soundtracks. Like
And everyone knows that the main Star Wars theme is the strongest aphrodisiac in America.
What was that word?
Aphrodisiac.
What is that? I've never heard that before.
It makes you want to fuck.
That is not what I was expecting at all.
I know, that's what made it so funny.
That's a word. How do you?
Yeah, aphrodisiac. It produces pheromones that make you wanna love.
Amazing. Oh yeah, Afro. Like I should have. That's like a prefix I know, like of a love. Wow.
Aphrodite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. What a cool word to learn. But that's very true. Yeah.
But yeah, that's very true.
To any of these songs. Yeah, they're very aphrodisiacally charged songs.
They're just horny. Literally. A lot of horns.
Lots of them.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll go with Star Wars. I'll go with Star Wars there too. And I promise, guys. You won't hear you probably won't hear another Star Wars nominee for a while.
Yeah.
For a while.
These two categories are just two that Star Wars excels in very, very well. So
exactly. So no more Star Wars nominees. Let's not do it. Let's go to Best Actor. First nominee, Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. Oh shit. Oh no, but yeah, he's definitely a nominee in this one. So let's talk it. Let's talk Best Actor, and this is a pretty self-explanatory one. It's at every award show there ever was. If they acted the best, we nominated them. Mm-hmm. And this one is important that we got here now for actor, supporting actor, and Best Actress. So the way we did this was that since it was the 70s. And the movies we selected, there was a plethora of performances by great actors. Just so many men all over our screens. You could argue it was too many. Actually, you can certainly argue it was too many. Definitely a lack of representation for women across and people of color across this whole decade here. And so we had to split the actor noms up into Best Leading Man and Best Supporting Actor. And there's some crossover there. We had several movies where you might consider someone a supporting actor, but another one where they're a lead or back and forth. But we did our best there. And then for actresses, it was just Best Actress. And we have 5 nominees for each category, as you can already tell, as we did with set design and soundtrack. And so let's get into it. Let's do Best Actor to branch point. So Best Actor nods.
Well, Best Actor. Do we want to? You want to get official with this?
The Best Actor include Malcolm McDowell as Alex in A Clockwork Orange, Marlon Brando as Don Vito Corleone in The Godfather, also Colonel Walter Kurtz in Apocalypse Now, Robert De Niro as Travis Bickle of Taxi Driver, and a young Vito Corleone in Godfather 2. Al Pacino as Michael Corleone, again, The Godfather Part 2. And Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. So, let's talk about it. And I'm going to go ahead and say right now, Mark Hamill's not going to win this one. He won't.
Yeah, he's just stacked against way too many great
way too heavy
roles
odds
right here.
But
he does great when the odds are against him in most
he
situations.
does do great. Never
so
tell him the odds.
Know. You never know, but yes.
You never know, but yeah, it's not him here. He did fantastic, and maybe if we were going like over the course of a full trilogy, maybe, but we're not. And even if we were, still probably not. So we'll move on. Just straight up off the front, we love Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. He was obviously going to get nominated, but he won't win. So
love you,
for
Luke.
me, up front, the person I like immediately lean towards is Marlon Brando.
Yeah. Both of the roles he has are strong, iconic, and he plays the character perfectly.
They couldn't be more dissimilar either. Like, they are not the same character at all. You can hardly tell they're the same man. Vito Corleone in The Godfather and Colonel Kurtz, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Apocalypse Now. He did fucking fantastic. And like I said, he is the reason that, for me, Godfather is better than Godfather 2. He just carries it for me in a way that no other actor did, in a way that Al Pacino didn't quite carry Godfather 2 for me. I will say, if there was a second choice for me here, if we were like, here's my second place, it's Al Pacino as Michael Corleone in Godfather 2. That's an incredible, like, the facial acting he does.
That's true.
There are moments where he doesn't say a fucking word, and like, you don't have any question about the way he's feeling. He so clearly portrays. He's just such an incredible actor, and he did a really good job. Specifically in Godfather 2. I actually wouldn't nominate him for Godfather 1. I don't think he did as good there. Godfather 2, I feel like he really elevated his performance in a different way.
I think this one it's pretty clear cut and dry in my opinion. Like, Marlon Brando, just like, as the 70s, having these two movies, one early on in the 70s and one at the very end, just kind of fitting. And he killed both of the roles. They're both insanely well acted. No one ever criticizes these, like, the acting of these characters.
No.
It's accepted and known that this is like the great, like, one of the greatest acting performances of all time.
Exactly.
So it makes sense that he wins, but I'd like to give my boy Malcolm McDowell for his role in A Clockwork Orange an honorable mention here. Having to play a role like that is just an entirely different ball game, in my opinion. Like, having to play someone that's so twisted and, like, just no sense of morale, for the first part of the movie. It's tough to get there, and I appreciate those roles. Just reminds me of, like,
fantastic.
Yeah,
he's incredibly important there. If you don't believe him, then.
And then even after he's like fully reformed, and like going through his treatment, like, he even plays that part like very well. Like the episodes he has whenever he, violence is introduced again, or Beethoven is on, or whenever he's sitting through the treatment, like, literally with his eyes open, like, having to, like, go through that, like, and act through the pain of these things scratching your cornea, like, of your eye. Like, I love that movie. Love the role. He had to do some weird stuff, which is just, kind of
I think they had to do a whole porn in the middle of it.
Yeah, it was like 37 minutes long or 45 minutes long. So credit to him there too. He has the stamina, I guess. Cause it was sped up. It was very sped up.
They really
it was
escalated
legitimately 35 to 40 minutes that they were fake doing it. I don't know. Like, there's no way they actually.
No way, right?
But like,
I will say
it
it's
was
Stanley Kubrick, and he's a fucking
Yeah.
psychopath.
like, yeah, and like it was right. Like they didn't hide anything.
Hardly anything. It was like we were watching a porno, I think, for a couple minutes there. But yeah, Malcolm McDowell does an incredible job in that role. Acting in a Stanley Kubrick movie is incredibly difficult in and of itself, and you do deserve recognition for that because he is crazy, or he was crazy.
Is he dead?
Yes, 1999, I believe he passed on. A while back.
Oh, that's right, because they played A Clockwork Orange in 1999 when he died,
right.
or like
right.
or maybe it was 2000. Like he died in like December, or like it was very late
That's
in the year.
right. We touched on
yeah.
that in the Clockwork Orange episode. I forgot about
Said,
that.
do not play this movie in theaters until I die, and then they literally did. Like that's I don't know. That's just funny to me. But
that's funny as hell. But yeah, Marlon Brando wins the Best Actor category, and I think it's I actually think it's pretty easy. I don't think that one.
I guess honorable mention to De Niro too for Travis Bickle having to play that weird, awkward, and crazy role too. That's not easy. As a young Vito, he was still good. Didn't know like really what he was saying pretty much the whole time because I didn't have subtitles. But as you know, the performance was still good. But yeah.
Only so much you can do when you're trying to replicate the guy who did win Best Actor for the decade.
It's true. He had very big shoes to fill. Very, very big. So,
all right.
But Marlon Brando, that one's pretty. Pretty.
How about
solidified.
How about three Godfather nominees for that category, and we're only gonna get more in the Best Supporting Actor category here, where we have Robert Duvall, who was our most he was in the most movies in the 70s. He was in 4 of our 10, which is incredible. He was Major Burns in MASH, Tom Hagen in Godfather 1 and 2, and Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore in Apocalypse Now. So he was big time for us in this project so far. Richard Dreyfuss for the role of Hooper in Jaws, and he was also our leading man in American Graffiti. But he stood more.
Can't believe it.
No, cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. That's a 18-year age gap between those characters at least, and it's 2 years apart.
Confirmed? Did we just confirm? Yeah, I think we just. Yeah, he's a time traveler.
Yeah, Harrison Ford for Han Solo in Star Wars, Bob Falfa in American Graffiti, and Colonel Lucas in Apocalypse Now. Elliot Gould as Trapper John McIntyre in MASH, and James Caan as Sonny Corleone in The Godfather. Now, this one, for me, is actually more difficult than the Best Actor category.
Yeah.
Because there's not one to me that is as straight up a winner. And, like, I might just be saying that it probably is Robert Duvall, but we'll come back to that.
Like, Robert Duvall, he has 3 characters, and they're all pretty strong characters. Like not like a Harrison Ford who has 3 characters. Like Han Solo is his strongest. Colonel Lucas is a very small role, and then Bob Falfa is also another kind of smaller role. So it's like Harrison Ford has like basically 2 roles. I'm counting the other ones as like half roles.
Halves. I get you.
So like, but the performance of like Han Solo, is really good.
How much do you weigh that?
Exactly. Yeah. So like, but Robert Duvall, he was good in almost everything he was in.
And I mean, I'd argue Tom Hagen was one of my favorite characters in both the Godfather movies, dude. So like, and then I mean, like as recent as Apocalypse Now, just earlier this week, Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore is one of the most like fascinating characters I've ever watched on screen, just because of the back and forth he plays, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna play the good guy, but really I don't actually give a shit. Like, that
was based on a true story.
Han Solo's the inverse. Like he's gonna play like he doesn't give a shit, but he's actually the good guy.
He always comes back to save the day. But Kilgore moment where he's like, here's some water out of my canteen, like any guy who fights that valiantly, blah blah blah. Like that the guy who was on, like the Vietnamese guy who held his intestines in with a pot or whatever, like that was that really happened in the Vietnam War.
Oh, sure.
And it was like and he was like a known soldier that legitimately had like a pot that kept his intestines in his stomach, like, and he went around and like fought, like, it was a legitimate soldier.
Christ.
Yeah. Which is just insane that, I thought that was just completely made up, you know, like for the movie, but legit, that's Vietnam War shit. Like,
I mean, just to reference a movie from this year, Cherry, or last year, Cherry with Tom Holland. There's a scene where a dude's guts are straight up falling out of his stomach. Like, I'm thinking that's just a war thing, maybe not just a Vietnam War thing.
That's true. Yeah.
But Robert Duvall, you know, we do have 2 military roles.
Mm-hmm.
We do have Major Burns and Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, where, I mean, you can only provide so much range there when you are playing 2 military guys. And I think Burns was different than Kilgore. He wasn't as, stand at attention. Like, he was like really, he was more laid back, a little bit different than Kilgore was. But I'm not gonna lie to you. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me Richard Dreyfuss. Hooper in Jaws is one of my favorite characters, period. And then you throw on top of that he was the leading man in American Graffiti, which I already loved. Like right now, you ask me who the winner is in this category, it's Richard Dreyfuss as Hooper, and there's no doubt for me.
Yeah, I was going back and forth between Duvall and Dreyfuss. Those are the 2 I was going back and forth between. I don't think Han Solo carries him hard enough to be up in the same category.
And that's the thing. If he had another leading man role on top of Han Solo, that's where Richard
like
Dreyfuss
if Raiders of the Lost Ark Raiders
of the Lost Ark, you got it right. Indiana Jones.
If that was in this decade, then like he'd be in this conversation. He'd probably win at that.
I mean,
point.
he'll certainly be up there for our next decade's conversation. I'll tell you that much.
But I'm comfortable going Richard Dreyfuss, I think. Like, even though Duvall's characters were really good, like Dreyfuss's characters had way more like emotional attachment and like I feel like it was better acted too. Like it just called to be better acted in the first place, like for the role.
And here's another thing is that Richard Dreyfuss was never acting opposite of anyone like Marlon Brando and Al Pacino. He was acting against Roy Scheider and Lil Ronnie Howard and shit like that. So like, and not shit like that. They're fantastic in their own right. Don't get me wrong. But Richard Dreyfuss has a lot more opportunity to shine in those settings than Robert Duvall does as Tom Hagen. So yeah, I think Richard Dreyfuss wins our Best Supporting Actor nod.
Well, yeah, congratulations to the time-traveling man.
The time-traveling man. Now let's do our Best Actress category. This is a fun one. We've got Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia Organa, Diane Keaton as Kay Adams in The Godfather and Godfather Part 2, Jodie Foster as Iris in The Taxi Driver, Sally Kellerman as Major Hot Lips O'Houlihan in MASH, and Lorraine Gray as Ellen Brody in Jaws. Now, I'm going to put some respect on Sally Kellerman and Lorraine Gary. They were fantastic for the movies they were the movies they were in. They both had aggressively small roles. Sally Kellerman was overwhelmingly sexualized in that movie, and I mean, she took it like a champ. She did that shit well. She was one of my favorite characters in that movie. You know, she did a really good job. And then Ellen Brody, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I needed a fifth. which is like terrible to say for the
Yeah.
decade, but like I needed a fifth. And she did great as the mother to the child who nearly died and the wife to the man going out to sea. But like she doesn't have much of a story other than being the wife and the mother, which sucks. Like, but she did a really good job. It's when it comes to Carrie Fisher, Diane Keaton, and Jodie Foster that I'm really ready to talk about how incredible of performances and material they got to work with. They did fantastic, and like I'd almost feel blasphemous going with anyone else. But I think Diane Keaton and Jodie Foster like really need, like I really like they're probably objectively Jodie Foster, which is crazy because she's 12.
Put like I'm between two, and it's Carrie Fisher and Jodie Foster, just because of how good of a role she did as a 12-year-old. Like,
yeah,
it is insane that she put on that good of a role and did that well as 12 years old. Like, that's insane. But Carrie Fisher is Carrie
Leia.
Fisher as Princess Leia. I mean,
I'm gonna throw some respect to Diane Keaton here though too.
True.
Because the scenes where Al Pacino shines most in The Godfather 2 are the scenes where he is with Diane Keaton. He can't provide his like the anger performance without Diane Keaton's incredible ability to be like, are you serious? You that fucking dumb? I got rid of the baby, asshole. Like the way she played
that part was that's true.
Dude, the way she played this, just like I wish I still loved you, but I just don't. This isn't it anymore. She so perfectly brought that to life. Like she did it so well, and like for like that scene alone is enough to like propel her for me to like definitely to rival Jodie Foster, at least. Like the thing that's carrying Carrie Fisher right now for me is the iconicism. Like
if you look at this decade and you're taking out a female role of the 70s in general, not even just the movies that we covered, you're pulling out Leia. Like you're pulling
Leia.
out Carrie Fisher. Do you pull out, Diane Keaton's Kay? Like
I sure hope you do.
I think so. I think
so.
I think so.
I think we got three. Like we got three of like definitely the actresses that would be in that conversation. Like Jodie Foster, Diane Keaton, and Carrie Fisher all had amazing roles here.
I think Jodie Foster's role might be a little more forgotten. Like just if you're talking about the general 70s.
True.
But like for our list, like these three roles are all great. It's just Carrie Fisher's Leia is a league above. Like,
oh yeah, Carrie Fisher is she'll hold a special place in my heart forever, and Leia Organa's like probably my favorite Star Wars character ever. So like, and Star Wars is my favorite thing ever. So like, it was gonna be Carrie Fisher as Leia. I just needed to give the fair shake to Diane Keaton and Jodie Foster. And again, Jodie Foster as Iris in Taxi Driver, she did so fucking fantastic. Like the thing that really stood out to me about that character was like the wizened, like she was hardened like by her time doing what she does.
Mm-hmm.
Like so much so that I didn't like I believed she was playing a 12-year-old, but I didn't believe the actress was 12. And then I looked into it, and then the actress was 12. And I was like, holy fucking shit. She was fantastic.
That's unbelievable. Like, I'm thinking back when I was 12 years old. And I freaking, like, fart jokes and, like your mama jokes. Like, that's what I'm doing at 12, Like, I'm playing Call of Duty on the Xbox 360. I'm playing zombies, I'm literally like, that's what I'm doing. I'm not performing. Like, I couldn't do that. That's insane. Like I couldn't do that now. Like
No.
yeah. So give I don't know.
I'd say she's my honorable
yeah.
mention for sure
Oh, yeah.
here. Jodie Foster, she did fucking fantastic and grew into one of the greatest actresses of all time. But Carrie Fisher, just Leia Organa's as iconic as it gets from the 70s. I don't know how you don't go with her there. But yeah, so that concludes the actors and actresses category. We are now to let's do Best Director. So this is another fun one because we've got a few overlaps. I think two of these guys directed half of the movies. With George Lucas. George Lucas directing American Graffiti and Star Wars. And then Francis Ford Coppola directing Godfather, Godfather Part 2, and Apocalypse Now. This might all be in vain. Stanley Kubrick, nominated for A Clockwork Orange in 1971. Steven Spielberg nominated for Jaws, and Martin Scorsese nominated for Taxi Driver. And let me recite that list to you again. George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, Stanley Kubrick, Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese. It's a fucking absurd list we have here. And, you know, if we're going overall, all time, oh God, is this matchup hell? And I would not be able to tell you exactly what I think. But it makes it a little easier when three of the movies are fucking both The Godfathers and Apocalypse Now. Francis Ford Coppola is the obvious choice.
Yeah.
I believe he had 3 movies in our top 6 as far as ratings were in the 70s.
Yeah.
Or top 5. 3 movies in the top 5 in the 70s, which is just insane.
Yeah. He's the clear winner here. Like George, yes, for Star Wars and American Graffiti, like insane for the 70s, like changed cinema forever. But you have The Godfathers and Apocalypse Now.
I don't even think there's not really elaboration required. If you came to this thinking it'd be somebody else, you were wrong, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll give an honorable mention to Kubrick, just for A Clockwork Orange, just because I like it. If this involved a couple years before the 70s, he would have also had 2001: A Space Odyssey. So and
if it would have included the year after the 70s,
Shining, yeah. So his movies are some of my personal favorites. He isn't one of my personal favorite people, though. I'm learning, but I like his movies, so I'll give him an honorable mention there. He makes some twisted shit.
True, and to build on that, I'll throw an honorable mention at Steven Spielberg, because if you include another movie a couple years away from the 70s in 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark, I don't know. This gets a little bit tougher for me with Jaws and Indiana Jones, but it's just Jaws here, and that's a marvel all on its own. And I think it was the other one that rounded out our top 5 along with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's not like second or third or fourth or fifth place are bad at all. They're still the top. These are the top directors of all time. These guys are. Yeah, they're not just because Francis Ford Coppola is the clear winner of the 70s is in no way diminishing of these other guys, but
and not even the clear winner of the 70s exactly. The clear winner of our 10 movies in the 70s.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you direct 3 out of the 10, you were probably going to win the award. Just makes sense. Especially when they're both The Godfathers and Apocalypse Now. It's just absurd. It's unfair. And then last one we'll mention, Martin Scorsese obviously has gone on to, I'm not going to lie, probably become my actual favorite director from this list. in terms of the movies he's put out later on. But as it stands here with Taxi Driver, I'm not even going to cap with you, my least favorite Martin Scorsese movie, as far as I'm concerned, like of the ones I've seen. So he was definitely not going to win Best Director here for me. But yeah, that concludes all of our categories with nominees. The last one there, Best Director, went to Francis Ford Coppola. So again, let me run that down for you. Set design, Star Wars was the winner. Best soundtrack, Star Wars was again the winner. Best actor, Marlon Brando for Don Vito Corleone and Colonel Walter Kurtz. Best supporting actor, Richard Dreyfuss for Kurt in American Graffiti and, more specifically, Hooper in Jaws. Best actress, Carrie Fisher for Princess Leia Organa, and best director to Francis Ford Coppola. Now we've got a couple more awards to give that are of a more technical nature of the real filmmaking side, but there wasn't really a lot of competition. We felt like there could have been, but it was like, do we really need to do all that? I think they're kind of like, duh. And we also didn't want to go with ones based on books for best writer. So it's like, because then it becomes a little bit more convoluted. You can't just nominate Francis Ford Coppola because Godfather was with Mario Puzo, Apocalypse Now is with a few other guys, and Joseph Conrad for A Heart of Darkness. So it's just like, what if we just went with the dude who wrote American Graffiti and wrote Star Wars?
Yeah.
Best writer, George Lucas. I mean, come on, created
a universe,
one of the most vast worlds of all time, in all of
I guess a
cinema.
galaxy, but basically a universe. It gets that wide, does it? No, it stays in the galaxy, a galaxy far, far away. But yeah, this is clear. The dude came up with this in his head, like this wasn't a thing before. Like everything, lightsabers, like he had to come up with that. Blasters, the ships, the Death Star, all of these things he comes up with, and then the characters. And, you know, it's insane to what he came up with, but the thing that's impressive is making these characters and having the story through all of this craziness be the heart of what Star Wars actually is. Like,
oh yeah, like it was such an archetypical storytelling method with the light versus the dark and the father versus the son. It's incredible. It's one of the best universes there is out there, and George Lucas is almost entirely responsible, if not entirely responsible for its existence. And you know, another thing that Star Wars had, and the last award of the day here, is costume design. Best award for the technical side of things. And Star Wars again won costume design. I think there was like this is completely original. It's completely its own thing. It's, again, just like with set design, you're creating a whole world here. I have to believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You have Darth Vader alone beats out
Darth
all
Vader,
of the rest
if you
of
have
the
Darth
costume.
Vader, you win.
Yeah, but then Star Wars also has every other character that has an iconic costume and a silhouette to them. Like, you see the silhouette
3PO,
of
R2, Chewbacca.
I guess the silhouette of Vito Corleone is known, kind of, but it's not the silhouette of Darth Vader. It's not the silhouette of R2-D2. Yeah, the costume design is what makes Star Wars Star Wars. So
Amen.
So yeah, no competition there. But
no competition there. But yeah, that concludes the real deal side of the awards. Now we're gonna get into the fun shit.
The real stuff.
We have 10 questions here. 10 questions. These are the fun categories. And we're gonna start with a fun one here. Who is the best at being the worst? Now, in this one, I'm gonna like open it up to complete for interpretation. Like, if you want to, you can go with an actor. If you want to, you can go with a character. If you want to, you can go with an actual entire movie. Who is the best at being, like, for all of these, for all of the ones coming up? And I think I'll mostly go with characters. On the character side of it, it's the easiest one to jump on and really associate some of the things we've done with these questions. So let's start there. Who is the best at being the worst?
Kilgore? Alex.
Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore sucks.
He does suck. Trying to think of just other roles that suck. Like Vader.
See, there's something. Yeah, obviously Vader. Like I thought about Vader. It's like,
is that really what we mean here though? Like
that's not what I
yeah,
mean.
like
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause there's something here too. Like you threw out Alex from A Clockwork Orange. And I can appreciate that. I get what you're saying. I think there's something worse. Not worse, but like more annoying about being just shit. Just being a shit person and having no clue you're a shit person, as opposed to purposely being like, hey, how about a bit of the ultra violence, huh? Like,
that's
obviously
true.
that's worse. That's sicker. There's something bad there. But like, in terms of like what annoys the shit out of me, it's when Kilgore's like, any soldier who fights that hard can drink out of my canteen. Someone's like, you want to go surfing? And then he's dumping the water out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a fuck boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't, Kilgore really does suck. Yeah. I was trying to think of anyone else that like sucks that much.
I have another one from Star Wars. It's the guy who's like, who comes up to Luke at the cantina and is like, he doesn't like you. And I don't like you either.
Yes.
It's like, what the fuck do you want, guy? You're the worst.
Really? That dude does suck. I think Kilgore beats him out. But that dude does suck. I was
that dude's terrible.
Maybe
what?
Maybe Michael.
Michael Corleone sucks pretty bad.
He eventually sucks. You know, like
yeah, and
he gets to that point, but like he's not Kilgore bad.
You know who is Kilgore bad and like annoys the shit out of me and like is far and away the worst character in their movie, and it's not even close. It's Steve in American Graffiti, the one played by Ron Howard. He's the one who like tried to get it on with his girl in the car, and she was just like really not feeling it. He's like, hey, what do you want from me, huh? And it's like, dude, fuck yourself, dude. I hate you. And honestly, that's my nomination for the best at being the worst, is Steve from American Graffiti.
Yeah, we're splitting up. We got to try new things, be with new people to know if we really love each other. Okay, buddy. Like,
you fuck boy.
Okay. You suck. You like really? Yeah. You know what? I can get past Kilgore. The dude just wants to surf. And Steve. Fuck Steve.
Fuck Steve, dude. Steve is the fucking worst. I like that we have like actual murderers on this list, like people who are truly people who just absolute evil people, and the best at being the worst is this high school douchebag.
Fuck him.
Steve.
Yeah.
Fucking Steve.
Fuck Steve, man. Yeah, he can die in a hole. Yeah. Nope. Yep.
Steve is the
while
fucking
Kilgore
worst.
Literally orders napalm strikes on villages and bomb strikes at every minute. We got Steve.
It's a different kind of bad, you know? There are levels to this shit.
Kilgore really just wanted to surf at heart.
It's true. You gotta look for any joy you can get out there. And conversely, if Steve is the worst, just the best at being the worst,
fuck that guy.
Who's the best at being the best?
I mean, this one's pretty clear. Literally, power ranking, Luke Skywalker is the best at being the best. Like,
it's a fact.
Dude's like way better than anyone ever has been. Like, he's kind of like Jesus, you know?
I feel you. So that's easy. I'm with you there. Best of the best is definitely Luke Skywalker. Now let me ask you.
Let's have think past Luke.
No. Who's the worst at being the best? Who is the protagonist of a movie that you're just like, God damn it, we got to follow this fucking guy? Like, I'm supposed to, and I got to go Hawkeye. Donald Sutherland. And
it's just
MASH,
fitting that it's Hawkeye too, because Hawkeye just inherently just sucks.
dude. He's like objectively a good
Hawkeye.
person in that movie, like comparatively. But boy, oh boy, fuck that guy. You know, he is the worst at being the best. I think that's where I'd go with that. I mean, I don't know where else I'd go. I feel like it almost would have to be Hawkeye. I mean, I don't know. Martin Brody in Jaws. I got feel for the guy. I sympathize with the guy, but I don't know. He's just like kind of like he's a cop, bro. He's a cop.
He should have shut down those beaches, man.
You should have shut down those beaches, man.
But the mayor, like, what are you gonna do? That's the mayor. Like,
your hands
that's
are
his
tied.
boss, right? Like,
oh, maybe that guy's the fucking best at being the
mayor.
Worst. Yeah, it's Steve and the mayor.
Fuck them both. They both.
Fuck them both. They both won. Fuck you, Steve.
Steve and mayor, terrible suit
ass face
coat, ass boy. Yeah, worst. The suit with the anchors on it, freaking
yeah. Fuck that guy. But nah. Yeah, I guess worst at being the best, I would definitely still go Hawkeye Pierce from MASH. It was just kind of like, and Martin Brody and Jaws too. They're both kind of like while the mayor is the best at being the worst, you know, like Martin Brody's hands are tied, not much you can do. This guy's the fucking worst, but boy, you could have tried harder, and then that makes you the best, the worst at being the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. By the transitive property, you know.
By the transitive
basically,
property.
Martin Brody is the worst at being the best. But this next one is I'm trying to think.
Class clown. What's got you giggling?
I'm trying to think.
I got another one. All right, right off the dome. Like for the person who like truly brought me joy the most in the moments I needed it during these movies was like the best executed comic relief for me was Hooper in Jaws by Richard Dreyfuss.
Fair.
He
I'm
was
not
funny
drunk
as hell.
enough to get on a boat. Oh no, that was Brody. But that
I'm not drunk enough to get on a boat.
Like,
yes, you are.
Them, yeah. All right, that's a good one.
And then whenever Quint
funny.
turns around and he like pulls on his face and stuff.
Yeah, like full steam ahead. Oh, full speed. Yeah, 240 knots. Faster I get off here, faster.
Hooper was fucking funny. If I wanted to go with another class clown, I mean, let's see. I'm trying to think like maybe Han Solo or maybe 3PO. Is 3PO a class clown?
3PO just a clown.
I don't think he gets at me the way Hooper does though. I like Hooper a lot. I feel like he's the answer for class clown here.
Yeah, I'm running through the cast and no one else is making sense really. Maybe Sonny. He was kind of funny every now and then, but not
funny,
really.
But he was mostly just angry and got 50 times.
He had some. Yeah, no. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is just Hooper.
All right.
I can't. Yeah, no one else was really like that funny. Even like in the comedy movie MASH. Like,
Hooper was funnier than anybody in that movie.
So, that's just funny. Fuck that movie.
Maybe that movie overall is just the best at being the worst.
Yeah, just MASH.
Just MASH
is fuck Steve, fuck the mayor, and fuck MASH.
Fuck Steve, fuck the mayor, and fuck MASH. But let's go on to the next one. Who is the most likely to succeed? Going just like classic high school shit on Class Clown and most likely to succeed here.
Kurt from American Graffiti.
You know,
Wait. What happened to him actually?
he ended up moving. He ended up moving and going making something of himself.
Did he? Was he? No, he wasn't the one who stayed. Steve, yeah, fuck Steve. He was the insurance guy.
Yeah,
the guy who stayed home. Yeah, nothing against insurance guys, but like, just fuck Steve. So that's why I like fuck insurance guys in that situation. But
fuck that insurance guy.
Yeah, just his agency, whatever he belongs to,
his practice.
But yeah, like Kurt went off and like whatever his dream was, right? Like, or didn't he become like a writer or like or something? Yeah, something like that. So,
you know who my most likely to succeed is? It's the guy who literally murdered everyone to make it happen. Michael Corleone.
He makes sure
you know why he's the most likely to succeed, because he'll kill everybody else who could get in his way to do it.
Luke Skywalker kind of can rival that though. He has the Force on his side.
He has the Force on his side, sure, but does he have the power of the 5 families?
I guess Michael Corleone took out the head of the 5 families, dude. That's insane. That's like kind of more insane than blowing up the Death Star, not gonna lie. Nah, it's not. But like,
nah, it's not.
But
the internals, the half second of internal struggle, where it was like that might be more impressive than blowing up the Death Star. Nah, it's not.
Yeah, 5 people
that was outstanding.
Millions. But
ooh, okay. Underrated, most likely to succeed. Sante.
Ooh,
opening up the 36th chamber, baby.
We need a win. We need a
win for that, man.
36th Chamber of Shaolin. This movie's the most likely to succeed too. It's freaking. If you watch this movie, guaranteed your life becomes better.
That's a fact. I know we've been talking a lot about like a Clockwork Orange and how much we loved it. But if I recall, don't we have like the 36th Chamber of Shaolin like within like 0.15 of its score?
A Clockwork Orange is 4.42. 36th Chamber of Shaolin is 4.45. So
so it was 0.3 higher.
Mm-hmm.
So like you've seen how highly we've spoken of fucking a Clockwork Orange.
I love that movie, dude. Like it was awesome. Like that movie was just fun. Like it was fun. It was good. It was like. I legitimately felt better after watching that movie. Like
that's a fact.
And I'm comfortable just putting Sante and the 36th Chamber of Shaolin as the most likely to succeed.
Yeah, because boy, oh boy, did they succeed.
And wow, beautiful movie. Needed a dub somewhere, and that's beautiful.
It did.
Now let's go to the converse.
The most likely to end up in jail or dead.
And a lot of these characters do end up in jail or dead. I mean, we got Taxi Driver, Pew Pew, he's dead. Maybe, yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Pretty confident.
Yes, he's dead. 100%.
We have, I don't know if you recall, but American Graffiti, you have John, who did end up dead.
Mm-hmm. That was wild.
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah, and at the end of this
as a fictional story, like not even based on a true story. Like whenever those popped up, I'm like, oh, is this whole thing based on a true story? And then I'm like, wait, no, George Lucas wrote this. Like this is all just something that he wrote. I'm like, why did this dude die? Like, but I wish Steve died. That would have been way better.
Fuck Steve.
Like,
fuck Steve.
Yeah, that would have been way better. But
I mean, then you also got Vito Corleone, dead. Sonny Corleone, dead. Like, a lot of dead people. A lot of Quint and Jaws.
I was just about to say.
I mean, everybody on the Death Star, Tarkin, dead. The leader of the gang that Gordon Liu killed at the end of the 36th Chamber of the Shaolin with a headbutt to the stomach, dead.
He is very dead. his chest had to explode. Like, maybe do you think he blasted a hole through him and that's why they like couldn't show it?
I couldn't show it. That'd be pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
because obviously everything captured in that movie was in camera and legitimate. So like
Right.
that headbutt was real, and like his headbutt really probably exploded him.
Like, if you've seen X-Men: The Dark Phoenix, like the thing Jean Grey does, where like she just like evaporates people. That's what Gordon Liu's head did to that man on set.
Or
rest in peace, that man.
Or what's his name? The guy who can absorb kinetic energy, who was like Magneto's like worked on him and stuff.
Oh yeah,
the guy who like who had the helmet originally.
Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw. You know, whenever he just taps someone and they explode.
Yeah,
that's what the headbutt did.
Dr. Manhattan, that shit.
Just right when his head touched his chest, just literally just evaporation just started dissolving from the sheer power. But this is an interesting one. We have a lot of dead people, a lot of curse, like, or just people that don't have the best of fates.
Buddy. If there was anybody in this entire list who was the single most likely to end up dead or in jail, I gotta go Travis Bickle and Taxi Driver.
One way or another.
It didn't, like, eventually his road ended in death or jail. Like that was
soon too. Like, very, like it was gonna happen like within that week, pretty much. Yeah. Like, no matter what, like that, however that week went, like he was either dead or in jail
at the end of it.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable putting Travis Bickle. I just that name just sounds so fake. I don't know, just Travis Bickle. I don't know. I don't know why. It just is weird.
I'm with you, Bickle. It's because it rhymes with pickle, but it's not pickle.
And it's like a B is almost a P. You just got to take off that little. And so yeah. The word looks like pickle.
Travis Bickle.
But here we go.
Let's do it. Let's do the Dream Blunt rotation of our movies here.
Entire cast of Star Wars.
Duh. You gotta have. I'm at least getting Han and Chewie in there with me. That's a guarantee. Yeah, Han and Chewie gonna be riding. I want Hooper. Give me Hooper. Hooper's there for my Dream Blunt rotation. That's my man's. I ride for my man's. I die for my man.
What do you think Don Vito Corleone is like?
He's not I don't know, but I want to find out.
He's not a man that likes drugs, but maybe when he
maybe just this once.
Maybe just once. Yeah, we make him an offer he can't refuse. I don't know if he's in the Dream Blunt rotation.
True.
But maybe the experimental seat. Guy who
just to see.
Yeah, the curiosity pick.
And maybe like if we want some like variants up in this hoe, maybe we get like a Kurt and Hooper along with like Bob Fafta and Han Solo.
Ooh, that'd be sick. Yeah, definitely. We have to do that.
Yeah, we have to get these people.
I have variants in there. Let's see. From the 30 Sante.
I mean, I'm going with the dude who like ran the 35th chamber.
Oh, whoever that dude is. Yes, 35th chamber head. Dude. Yeah, that dude for sure is getting in there because he'd probably start to teach us some stuff. He'd let some stuff slide, And
he's letting that stuff slip at that point.
That'd be sick.
I'm trying to think. That might be it for my Dream Blunt rotation amongst the characters we have here.
Yeah, no one from like Apocalypse Now.
I definitely don't want anybody from Taxi Driver in my Blunt rotation.
Maybe Betsy.
Maybe Wizard, that one guy who like gave him all his advice. No, that guy's in my Nightmare Blunt rotation, that's for sure.
Yes, might as well put him there.
Another guy that's in my Nightmare Blunt rotation, Travis Bickle. Actually, take every character in Taxi Driver, and they are in my Nightmare Blunt circle. Sport, the fucking pimp that.
Ooh, yeah. Just might as well just put Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver is in my nightmare.
Minus Betsy and Iris.
Betsy, I forgot about Betsy. She probably would have been in the. She probably could have been in the Best Actress category.
Yeah. Sub Lorraine Gray, Ellen Brody, and put Betsy in there.
True.
As the nomination.
Still Carrie Fisher.
Yes, still Carrie Fisher wins. But the important distinction, it is Taxi Driver minus Betsy and Iris in the Nightmare.
True, yes.
Probably
I'm gonna go with Michael Corleone. Definitely don't want to be getting high with Michael Corleone. I'm gonna go with Steve.
Vader. I don't know about Darth Vader.
Yeah, I don't want to get high with Darth Vader.
I don't know though.
No, the mechanical lungs. There's just no way that goes good for anybody.
Yeah, probably not. And that's coming from another universe too. We got that's crazy shit for them. That's like
they bring in a Comtono, a spice up in that hoe for us.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. Oh, Han and Chewie got us.
Han and Chewie got us. We're chilling.
Yeah. Lando. Lando.
He's not in there though. He's not in Star Wars. He's not in 77.
That's true.
I thought about it. You know, I thought about it. If there's anybody in Star Wars who I'm smoking weed with, it's Lando Calrissian. Obviously, that's the first thought. But shit. A little bit more on the Nightmare blunt rotation side. Steve. Fuck Steve.
Yeah.
Probably.
The mayor.
The mayor. Well, shit. Jaws.
The shark. Yeah.
The shark. Yeah. The shark itself. I don't want to smoke with that shark. I definitely don't want to smoke with Quint.
I already put him up there. Yeah. I just didn't even say it out loud. He was the first one that I typed, actually. It was Quint. It was just reactionary. Yeah, it was just that dude would be scary. Yeah, he just wouldn't be good.
You know what? This is going to sound weird. I need to make an addition to the Dream blunt rotation. Colonel Walter Kurtz.
Whoa! Why?
I just want to know, man. Same with the Vito Corleone one. It's just what the fuck happens? Maybe then I'll get it.
But that's it can get so bad. That dude's a cult leader. He could, and that's a bad dude.
No, yeah, that's a bad dude. You know what? Fine.
I mean,
he's in the Nightmare. He's in the Nightmare.
If we could have him in a cage, and
true,
just study.
See, that's the thing. It's I guess that was a bad way to put it. I don't want
caged.
Caged.
Yeah.
I want to observe him and see how he behaves high. I don't want to hang out with him.
Yeah, and I put him in the Nightmare as uncaged. So it works. So
caged and the Dream blunt rotation uncaged.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that works.
That's fantastic. I mean, I really don't want to get high with Captain Ben Willard from Apocalypse Now either.
That's true. I guess, I don't know. We did see him get high in the movie.
We did, but did you want to hang out with a dude who was like that when he was high?
No.
You know what? I know we put him up there for best to being the worst, but he probably wouldn't be bad to smoke a blunt with Kilgore.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah. Kilgore, you gotta take away his ability to call in airstrikes and napalm though.
True, yeah. We gotta be in a neutral area.
Yeah, so Kilgore, unmilitarized.
Yeah, unmilitarized Kilgore.
Yeah.
That's like saying light side Vader. Wait a second. No,
Vader caged, but you can't cage him. He's breaking
out of that shit.
Yeah, so there's no doing that there. I think that's good though.
Yeah, I think that's
we
it.
got
Like,
a good
so
spread there.
So dream blunt rotation. We had Han and Chewie, Hooper, Don Vito Corleone, Kurt, Bob Falfa, the 35th Chamber Head, Kurtz caged, and Kilgore unmilitarized. In the nightmare blunt rotation, we have Quint. You put him before Taxi Driver. That's outstanding. I didn't realize that's what you meant.
So reactionary. I just typed Quint before Taxi. Like it was. I don't know.
It's just an obvious. Quint, Taxi Driver minus Betsy and Iris, Michael Corleone, Vader, Steve, the Mayor, Jaws, the shark itself, Kurtz uncaged, and Willard is the nightmare blunt rotation. And that brings us to our last couple here. Who's the biggest simp? And I'm gonna be real with you. It's an easy one. It's Kurt. That man spent his entire night chasing a woman. He fell in love at one glance, bro.
Definitely Kurt. Underrated pick. Han goes for Leia hard. Like doesn't want to. I mean, I don't want to. Like. He's not a simp though. He's smooth.
You know who's a simp? Luke. You think a princess and a guy like me? No. Come on, bro. That's a simp. That is a simp.
Kurt and Luke, man. Wow, Kurt, you're up there with some.
Well, it makes sense.
Some good company.
Didn't even think about it like that. George Lucas inserting himself into his protagonist.
There we go.
George Lucas is the biggest simp of the 70s.
Yeah, we'll put George up in there. Let's see. Who else? Was anyone else simp worthy?
Travis.
Who was obsessed with one of the Playboy girls? The guy was like, I even wrote to her one time.
Oh my fucking God, Chef.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that's a simp. That's as big a simp as it fucking gets.
It made me realize that like Playboy's like it's like OnlyFans like now.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just modernized like this like he's like, dude, I even wrote to her like on the back. I sent her like a postcard like, for extra money or whatever. And then like I don't know, it was just oh man, it's just a funny like
that man was the biggest simp in the entire fucking universe. There was one in MASH. There had to be one in MASH.
Someone was going for Hot Lips super hard.
Was it Hawkeye? I feel like there was
no. He always shut her down. He was like, no,
it was Major Burns. Major Burns and her actually hooked up, and that's how she got the name Hot Lips.
Yeah, they hooked up, but he was like smooth. He was kind of like smooth with it. There was someone who was trying to get with her, but never did. And it could have been. Was it
Trapper? Elliot Gould?
Maybe.
Well, here's the thing: if you're the biggest simp, you're a memorable simp. That's the bottom line.
It's true. And the four we got up there are memorable simps. So, yeah, I think
we hit it. I think I might put Quint for the shark.
He was simping for. He is a shark simp. He kind of is.
He was simping for that shark.
Yeah, I'd say that's good. I'm trying to think.
Kurt, Luke, George Lucas, Chef, and Quint. That's outstanding. Best couple.
I mean, you got Han and Leia, but like,
not for real.
Not for real. Like, so you got
this one becomes more fair game
and Kay, but like,
that's
not a really good couple. Oof. Yeah.
Oof. Maybe Godfather 1, you give them best couple, and then Godfather 2, you give them worst. I feel like that might be.
Or maybe we could do like, who do we ship?
Oh yeah, like across
all the movies. Yeah, across
the multiverse.
Yeah.
Who do you think would have who would have hit it off?
This is an interesting question. Like,
and you know what? And it doesn't even have to be a romantic pairing either. Who would have been down with each other? Who would have been like, you know what, I like you?
I think the Apocalypse Now boys and the MASH boys, just being military dudes just would clash well. That's just like an easy thing. But more like I think Alex from Clockwork Orange and
Travis
would hit it off.
They'd hit it off. They'd be homies. You know that for sure.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yo, so what porno theater are you trying to go to tonight, bro? Maybe afterwards we can hit the Milk Bar.
Dude, and he would think the Milk Bar is totally normal. You know, that's a normal. Yeah, dude.
You just know Travis Bickle would love the Milk Bar.
Yeah. He'd be all up. Dude, they would hit. Oh, they'd totally hit it off.
Oh, dude, they love each other, bro. They love each other. You know who I'm trying to just like put in a room and see how they interact. If there's anyone, in my opinion, who had the capability of, I can change him, Michael Corleone. You know who had the ability to do that? There's one person. It's Leia Organa.
That'd be a very interesting just thing to watch to see what happens.
No, I mean, like, morally, Leia would never be into Michael Corleone, but given the right circumstance, and if it were to happen, I feel like if there's anyone who can do a number on Michael for good, it's Leia Organa.
Maybe Luke too. I'd say Luke could do it. You know,
true.
But no, that Leia and Michael would be interesting to watch because Leia wouldn't put up with any of that.
No, exactly. Wouldn't put up with a single ounce of shit.
If I mean, it's just great that you have like a little bit of Padme in Leia, so like you get like a de facto Padme. Is that the right use of de facto? I don't think I.
A little bit.
I think I
like
use that completely.
Like you were basically.
I don't know why I said that. I've never used it.
It was a de facto use of de facto.
I truly don't know what it means. I just said it because I think it sounded right.
It's like
there's a
therein.
Yeah, it's like there's a saying that's like it's sort of like de facto, but it means like grandfathered in. Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah,
ipso facto. It's like through this, like technically, ipso facto, I'm your boss.
Like by the transitive property, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, all the same. But yeah, Michael Corleone and Leia, that'd be
Here I'm thinking some more here too. How about John the car that Steve gives to the little douchebag, not the little douchebag. He was one of the more lovable characters in the movie.
The guy who's trying to get alcohol.
Terry. Yeah. The car that Steve gives Terry and Luke's X-wing. I think they'd hit it off big time.
Luke's X-wing and
Terry's car.
And Terry's car. That'd be we're really expanding the multiverse now.
Oh yeah, it's come with me and ponder the question.
I'll be your guide through these vast new realities. That's a vast reality right there.
That's a really vast reality. I'm trying to think, if we open this up a little bit more and if it was like Star Wars all-encompassing, I'd say like Rancor and Jaws. I think they'd vibe. They'd probably be like, yo, what's up, homie? Maybe the Sarlacc can get in a little bit too.
Oh, Obi-Wan and freaking Don Vito, man. Come on.
Ooh, Vito Corleone and old Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets right there. That's ideal.
And old Ben. Heck yeah, dude. Oh, I'd want to see that. And then maybe like Vader and Steve. Just so Vader can slice.
Just so Vader can slice this man into a million pieces.
Yeah.
Now, like, who do you think would come face to face and it would be like instantly on sight? Like, this person sees this person and they are fighting.
Okay. Well, Vader's pretty easy.
Vader's pretty easy.
It's
so I'm
just
trying to
who's
avoid
Vader.
Vader a little
Yeah,
bit.
like who would fight Vader? But like, no one could like. No one is on site looking at Vader and then being
Exactly.
like, yeah. So like,
I think that you put Michael Corleone opposite Captain Willard for some reason. I just think that's bound to result in some sort of altercation, like or maybe Kurtz. He'll be like, "Whoa, you look like my dad. Let's fight."
Kurt and Hooper.
Kurt and
see each
Hooper.
other and then realize there can only be one, and then so they have to on site kill each other.
They have to on site kill each other.
So, or like a Han Solo
another on site,
Alpha.
another on site. I know they were in the other category, but Travis and Alex would also, while they would hit it off, they would also on site murder each other, but they would both like it.
Wow, yeah, I'd throw them I'd ship them as a killing each other and a romantic couple. I think they just hit it off in every way. Alex and Travis. Wow. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I think we got some good couples there.
I'm trying to think. There's one more that I think could probably be lumped into this. I'm trying to find a pairing here.
Let's try
to find. Oh, who like I know they're just like getting along. Is C-3PO and Fredo Corleone.
I'm down with that. Oh yeah, C-3PO needs
he needs a Fredo, man.
Yeah, needs a Fredo. I think Sante and like Luke.
Oh yeah.
I think they would just be really cool together. Like
big time.
Basically like kind of the same thing.
Archetypical story-wise, definitely. Like they definitely represent the same idea, I think, in terms of the storytelling.
You got some good couples there.
We do. We got some nice pairings.
I think one of the favorites, Luke's X-Wing and Terry's car. That one. God,
that one's just hot.
Oh man, it gets me going. Don Vito and Old Ben. That one.
That's as good as it gets.
That
man.
one. I'd want to see that.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for that one.
Thank you.
So let's wrap this thing up, and before we get to the big one, we're better to wrap up than best hair. Who's got the best hair?
Leia.
Ooh, it's almost certainly Leia.
I mean, like, it's iconic. Like, her hair is iconic. Can you tell me another iconic hair? Travis Bickle, the Mohawk.
That is iconic hair, but is it best hair?
No, it doesn't beat Leia.
That might actually be worst hair,
yeah.
and the most iconic.
Worst hair goes to Travis Bickle. But yeah, Leia at least like, and think of another.
You know who had like a underrated, good head of hair and facial hair on him? We keep bringing it back to the man, but Hooper. I liked that man's beard. He had a nice beard. Best beard?
Best beard. Who had a beard other than?
Or best facial hair? Because you can go Vito Corleone at that point.
MASH had some wild hair.
Oh, Elliot Gould had quite the fucking stash on him.
Dude, that dude was rocking the like. Yeah, it was like a.
He had like a little fro.
He had the stash that went into the chin strap, but like nothing like on his goatee. So it was like, that was sick.
Yeah, it goes Elliot Gould as Trapper John McIntyre for best facial hair. There's pretty much no doubt. With a honorable mention going to the Don Vito Corleone.
Mm-hmm.
That's an iconic stash there that he's rocking. Man, Ben Kenobi, pretty iconic beard on him.
Mm-hmm.
We could give a shout out here for best hair. All the wigs in the 36th Chamber of Shaolin.
We'll just put the whole movie.
There was an
there.
overwhelming amount of wigs in the 36th Chamber of Shaolin.
Facial hair was rocking too. They had some old sensei, like sick.
True.
They just got. They had good hair. Like
that's just good hair movie. That's just a good hair movie. But yeah, man. Shit, you want to top this all off, the whole award show, and go with what you think the best movie of the decade is?
Best movie of the freaking decade. I don't know. This is I mean, there's two that are immediately
Star Wars and The Godfather.
Yeah. Star Wars.
It's Star Wars.
It's the best. It's the best movie of all time. Like not even the 70s. Like it's Star Wars. Like it's not by a huge margin, but like Star Wars just is Star Wars. Like it's 77. It's like the moment that changed. Like from that point on, like movies just changed. Like we're never the same. And
Star Wars is undoubtedly the movie of the decade. It just had a bigger impact. It to this day, I mean, is the only one of these properties that still has adaptations. And whether you believe that is a credit or a discredit, up to you. And really, inherently, it's not either. It's just kind of another thing. But it did result in a universe of storytelling that has lasted tens of years.
And
will last 45 years this year.
Will last many, many more.
Many, many, many more. So yeah, I agree. Star Wars is the best movie of the decade, with Godfather getting a nice little honorable mention there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think. What other movie comes close to them? Like what's like I'd say like for the movie of the decade, like.
Well, okay, but like, let's go besides Star Wars. What was the most enjoyable experience you had this decade? Like, what movie coming in or leaving this decade is much higher on your favorites than it was coming in? And I already know your answer, but I'm ready for it.
It's not A Clockwork Orange.
What?
It's the 36th Chamber of Shaolin.
Ooh.
That movie's sick. It's awesome. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Like, I was like, I'm ramped up. It motivated me. Like, that movie was sick. Like, favorite movie as a, like, favorite movie of these is A Clockwork Orange. Like, but like, as just enjoyment, like,
you're not getting much better than the 36th Chamber of Shaolin there.
I love it.
It's just, and in the same vein, you know, and I think there's something to be said here for the coming of age style of storytelling, because in the same vein, I'd go American Graffiti.
That's what I was about to say as like the third place movie of the decade, because of like just how great of a coming of age story it was, and like how it just truly captured that time. Like, I don't know. I feel like, it's probably like my third favorite enjoyable. Like, it goes 36 Chamber, Clockwork Orange, and then American Graffiti as like enjoyment.
I'm right there with you. And really, I went with American Graffiti because you went with 36 Chamber of Shaolin. That probably would be my top one too. It was just as fun as it gets.
It was fun. It was nice finally like watching like a foreign film.
Right.
Like, I haven't watched, like, I can't even think of another foreign film that I've watched. Like,
a whole other genre of movies that you're missing out on. You got to, like, there's so many great foreign films. And specifically South Korea makes a lot of great movies that as far as the foreign films I've seen. But yeah, man, I don't have much else to say. That was the 70s awards there. I think it speaks for itself.
It was a a great first award show of many more to come.
Yeah, we'll have the 80s, we'll have the 90s, we'll have the 10s, and we'll have the aughts. It'll be about 10 years before the 20s.
Well, it'll be a little bit. I guess we could do the 2 movies of the 2020s, or 3 movies. Sorry, 3 movies of the 2020s. We could do an awards show for those 3, but
it'll be nice and short, nice and simple.
Wouldn't be that wouldn't be that
eventful.
Yeah. But
or difficult. We'd have plenty of options, or not plenty of options, but like obvious options because we had 3 choices.
Or I guess maybe we could open up the 2020s to every movie that came out from 2020
just
on or something like that.
More recent in memory. More people have seen them. We might be able to get away with that by then. But yeah, man, I think that's that. This was the Penny Bloom podcast. If you would, head to patreon.com/CoroBloom, where you'll find well over 21 hours of exclusive content at this point. Head over to Twitter, follow @PennyBloomPod, follow Instagram @PennyBloomPodcast, and we are officially done with the 70s. That is it. That is that.
Moving on.
Done. The 70s are gone. It's out of our minds. We're not even thinking about it anymore. We are a little bit hard to forget. And next week, we'll pick it up with the 80s, and we'll kick off 1980 with The Shining, another Stanley Kubrick flick. And I can't wait for y'all to hear that. What'll that be? The second episode of March, and then we'll have a couple more after. Okay. Yeah. So coming up in March, The Shining, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Blade Runner. So big Harrison Ford month, March. Apocalypse Now, Indiana Jones, and Blade Runner. Harrison Ford's in 3 of the 4 movies this month. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, he's looking like he's dominating this.
The 80s leading actor might not be so difficult. That one might be a little easier for us. But yeah.
Yeah, I think this was go ahead.
I was going to go ahead.
I was just going to say a last call to fuck Steve. Just wanted to get one more in there. So yeah.
Fuck Steve. And there's never too many fuck Steves, and I doubt it'll be the last one. I was Colton Robertson, joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It is always a pleasure to be here.
It is always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And fuck Steve.
Yeah, of course.